right in there. He's right in there. God, little son of a bitch scared the hell out of me. Games like Metro Awakening, they don't come around too often. It's pretty rare for a beloved trilogy to get an official VR release. This is going to be a spoiler-free review in progress for the game, as I haven't quite beaten it yet, but I do think I've gotten enough time with it to form a pretty solid opinion of it. This is Metro, built for the ground up for VR, and it shows. And I gotta say that Vertigo Games, they're really flexing their development muscle here in Metro Awakening. There are some really good unique to VR mechanics at play here. The backpack itself is an amazing inventory system, but more on that a little bit later. But I just love this damn thing. But it's just so obvious when playing Metro Awakening that Vertigo Games just knows how to make one hell of a VR game. But Metro Awakening, it might not quite be for everyone. So stick around and find out if this is a game for you. And speaking of you play as Serdar, a doctor braving the darkness, crippling radiation, and the deadly threats of the Moscow Metro. You start out on a secret little quest to find your wife the medicine she so desperately needs, and it all starts to roll from there. The story has really grabbed me, and it's keeping my attention. And I'm not going to speak to it a ton here, but I am enjoying it. So far, it's mostly been told through first-person conversations and over the radio, but the game does move out of first-person from time to time with some cutscenes that kind of feel like third-person. I won't elaborate on it much more than that, but it does work really, really well. And this is actually the first Metro game I've ever played, and I've been able to follow the story just fine. The author who wrote the original Metro book series also wrote the story for this game, so there's some quality writing and authenticity here. The game itself takes place over 12 chapters, and I'm on chapter 5, and it's taken me 4 to 5 hours to get that far. So my guess is completing the game is anywhere from 8 to 12 hours, give or take. The levels themselves are quite linear by design, and I don't think that's a bad thing here. Everything feels so very handcrafted, and the level design itself really breeds a lot of tension. It feels like at any moment something could jump out of one of these vents and attack you, and quite literally they do. And the tunnels themselves are just littered with these vents, and it just ensures that you never really truly feel safe in the subway system. And the same can be said for the atmosphere. It's just top-notch and oppressive, and it never lets you feel safe. And if this sounds like your kind of game, press the like button. And if you'd love a game with a thick and oppressive atmosphere like I do, consider subscribing, because we very well may be the same kind of crazy. I'm playing the PSVR version of the game, and it's been wicked smooth. I don't think I've encountered a single bug or glitch. This is a very polished game, and it feels really damn good to say that. The game also performs great on my 3080 Ti with the settings maxed out. And in a couple of weeks, I want to post a comparison video showing all 3 versions of the game running side by side. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments, and I can make it happen. I don't have that video ready right now because, quite frankly, I just want to keep playing this damn game. Metro is living rent-free in my head. And as you can tell, the visuals, they look pretty great. The lighting is moody and dark and atmospheric. And the flashlight is attached to your head only. And it is one of those flashlights that you wish was just a little bit brighter, and I love it. Textures, for the most part, are great, and things look really sharp in the headset. I won't go as far as to say this is the best looking VR game I've ever played, but it's up there. You will find some low res textures, and sometimes they are a little more in the forefront than what I would like. But overall, I think this is a great looking game. And if you've played After the Fall or the recent Arizona Sunshine games, I would say they're visually comparable to those games, but a step up. The character models look great, but the facial animations are a little wooden. But the enemy and monster animations are much better. The monsters especially feel very alive in their movements, and it's just damn creepy and unsettling in the best possible way. Good animations are immersive, and Metro, yeah, it's got them. The sound design is excellent. The weapons, the voice acting, the music, the environmental sounds, It's all top tier. And great sound is so underrated in a VR game. It really is the soul of the game. And the whole presentation of the game is just weaved together so well that it just breathes this dark and oppressive atmosphere at all times. Humanity is really struggling, and you feel it with every breath. And the whole game world just feels both very alive and very dead at the same time, but never empty. The detritus of this nuclear war zone is thick, and each set piece tells its own story of a failed survival. Everything looks lived in and abandoned, with corpses just littered throughout. You never really feel safe in this game, much the same way that you never really feel safe when playing something like Resident Evil. Overall, this game scores really high for its presentation. I would describe the pace of the game as careful, teetering on the edge of fight or flight. Ammo comes in small pieces and at times is a little bit scarce. And this isn't that high-octane run-and-gun style of game, and I love Metro Awakening for that. This game is wonderfully paced with stealth sections and action sequences, some puzzling, and great storytelling. It's a really good balance. The stealth parts, they do feel a little optional as to how you approach them, but this game is so immersive that I felt just compelled to play them stealthy. I've also been really impressed with the enemy AI. The mutated monsters just feel rabid and out of control, and the humans will search for you and have some really great behaviors. And they all react very realistically when shot, which does lead me to the weapons. The weapon handling is exactly what you want for this type of game. The guns feel chunky and real, and there are a lot of little details in the weapon handling that add up. Like the way the gun wobbles in your hand after you're racking the slide, or the multiple hand poses when grabbing things. And little things like that give the player such a wonderful sense of weight and realism to the whole experience. And I downright love it in a VR game when I can tip open the door with my gun. Especially in a creepy ass game like this. My pistol is a lifeline. I don't want to let it go. Shooting feels great. The guns feel and sound powerful, and it's like the bullets have a real impact to them. Enemies really stagger and react to getting shot in very convincing ways, and it's wonderfully and terrifyingly immersive. And it's not just the weapons that are great, but the VR tools are great as well. You're going to spend a fair amount of time using this little charging tool here. Crank it to not only charge your flashlight, but it also has these little leads that you can attach to various pieces of equipment found in metro stations. This tool is pretty cool and just VR as hell. And the charger is stored on your trusty backpack. And I'm calling it right now. Metro Awakening has the best inventory system out of any VR first-person shooter. I just love this damn thing, and it all just works so damn well. And the whole thing just kind of shakes and wiggles when you hold it, and it just feels so real. But the inventory system is deeper than just this bag. Everything is holstered somewhere on your body. All the placements just make sense and are easy to interact with. You also have this little shoulder pack here that allows you to set what your primary weapon is. You just reach over your shoulder, grab it out, and then grab the gun. And this is kind of used to replace a menu or some kind of loadout screen, but it's all done in-game, and it's quick, and it's immersive, and it's fun. I'm also a huge fan of the gas mask. It feels claustrophobic and real, and it sometimes ices up and you gotta wipe it clean. And as dumb as it sounds, you just take it off and put it on exactly how you think you would. It just works, it's amazing, and it's easy. The only drawback to the whole inventory system is there's no full body IK. You don't see your weapons, or they're not even holstered anywhere, they just kind of straight up disappear. Well, as it stands right now, I highly recommend this game. Metro somehow terrifies me in 1 second and then straight up gives me a power trip in another. I feel like I'm being hunted and that I'm an apex predator at the same time, and it's really awesome. And especially if you're a big fan of atmospheres like I am, this might just be your game. And if you're a fan of games like Resident Evil or Propagation Paradise Hotel, pick it up. But if you found the horror sections of Half-Life Alyx maybe too powerful, you might not be strong enough to make it through. Now, this isn't a true horror game, but it's pretty close. And when I do finish the game, I'll post a full review. To see that review, press subscribe. Each time someone presses that button, I do get a little bit excited. And I'm sorry I didn't quite have the full review ready for today, but right now I'm just having too much damn fun playing this game to sit back and edit this video any longer. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.